Right now on Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News, helping new immigrant and refugee families in Colorado.
It's heartbreaking. I cannot fathom what it would feel like to not have enough clothing to keep my children warm.
A look at the struggles these newly arrived families face and how local organizations are working to offer them a lifeline.
It is truly heartbreaking to not have enough to be able to meet the need for the families that are here.
Welcome to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. I'm Denver7's Micah Smith.
And I'm Colorado Public Radio's Nathan Heffel. Each week, in a partnership between Denver7 and CPR, we'll have a real talk about issues impacting underrepresented people across Colorado.
We've talked before on this show about the struggles and challenges new immigrants face as they arrive in Denver. Navigating housing, language barriers, and applications for work permits can be costly, time-consuming, and confusing.
This can be even harder for families with some of the youngest newcomers. Children are arriving in Denver without basic supplies or necessities to survive. Others even living on the streets with their families as their parents work to secure housing. That's where nonprofits like WeCycle step in to help. They host weekly distribution events to hand out necessities like diapers, warm clothes, food, and baby formula to families most in need.
However, they say demand is so high with the influx of new immigrant families in Denver, they're struggling to keep up. We spoke to WeCycle Executive Director Morgan Seibel to find out more. All right, Morgan, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about what you do at WeCycle.
WeCycle is a nonprofit in Colorado, and we serve infants and toddlers with essential baby gear and supplies. So things like strollers and car seats and diapers and formula, really anything and everything infant and toddler.
Basically some of the things that are the most expensive part of parenting, right?
Yeah, we like to say we've got all the gear covered.
Important stuff. You're not only helping new immigrants, but any child at risk and those who need basic essentials. So have you had to shift priorities and support staff as new immigrants move here?
Yeah, we are seeing a huge increase in demand, and we work kind of two different ways. We support other nonprofit agencies by providing baby gear and supplies for their clients, and then we also have direct service programming where we are partnering with food banks and doing pop-up distribution events throughout the metro area and beyond.
So that sounds like your reach is pretty wide with the two ways that you operate.
It is, yeah. So we serve over 9,000 children every month, and those are throughout the whole state of Colorado.
Wow, 9,000 children. Your organization has said that diaper distribution has jumped 52% in 1 month, and attendance at your mobile marketplaces has jumped 66% from December of last year. Those are huge increases.
They are, yeah. I mean, and I think just like looking back, I have some numbers from last quarter, fall of last year, we were serving an average of 222 children at each event, and our busiest event this month served over 450 children in 2 hours.
How do you keep up?
We're struggling to, quite frankly. We do our best, but there's often times where we fall short and don't have all the supplies needed to support families.
Well, I think this is certainly a place and space where community can step in. What would you need from the community? Is it more physical things like diapers or baby clothes? Is it volunteers? What do you need?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. All different ways. So I think we need gear. We need especially those high demand items, things like car seats and strollers and cribs and pack and plays. We can never get enough of them. As they come into WeCycle, they're out almost instantly. We love volunteers. We rely really heavily on volunteer support. We have a small staff. There's 11 of us. So we really are grateful for all the support we get in volunteer time. We have shifts at our warehouse where people can come and help prepare donations to go out, and then also at our distribution events where people can help hand out these supplies to families that need them. And then of course, like any nonprofit will tell you, funding, because that's what allows us to keep on recycling all year round.
And Morgan, for those who hear this and want to donate, I know everyone's hearts are in the right place with this. We're talking gently used items, right?
Yeah, we take new and gently used items.
All right, wonderful. Let's go back to that funding piece though. Is any of that funding coming from the city of Denver or state agencies?
So we have certain grants that are coming from state and county and city sources. However, they are not specific to the increase in demand that we're seeing. So they're grants that have been in place to support our programming, and we're just struggling to be able to make the ends meet to be able to get everybody what they need.
Yeah, as we talked about, this is one of the most expensive parts of parenting, and so you too need funding to be able to serve the communities that you're serving. Are there any stories you can share of people who have been helped by WeCycle, like a mother who got the help she needed and had no clue before she came into contact with WeCycle where that help was coming from?
Sure. I mean, there's hundreds of stories that we can share. Just a month or so ago, I was at one of our events, and a number of families were attending that had just gotten to Colorado yesterday, and they said, like, these are what you see is what I have. So truly, like, the clothes on their back is what people are coming with. So we were able to provide them with diapers and formula and clothing for their children. And it's heartbreaking to see people in such desperate positions. As a parent, you can only imagine what it would feel like to not be able to provide the things you need for your kids.
As the leader of this organization, how does it feel though when you can provide those things?
It feels really great to be able to provide them, but you always think of like the flip side of like, well, what about who we're not able to support right now? So it's always a bittersweet feeling, I would say.
I can imagine. So for those who are listening, watching, if they hear this and say, I believe in WeCycle, I believe in what they're doing, what can they do to try to get in contact with you, to help, to donate, to volunteer, all that good stuff?
Yeah, I would encourage them to get involved in whatever way makes sense for them. So our website is wecycle.org, and it's weecycle.org. And reach out, call us, email us. We're happy to connect and find ways to plug in.
And I always love to end off on a hopeful note for maybe some parents out there who really, they don't know where to get these things. They're losing hope. They don't know where to turn. Would you mind sharing some words for them?
Absolutely. I think we have a really caring community here in Denver and Colorado, and there are tons of people and organizations that are really here to help support families and children. And please reach out.
All right. Morgan Seibel, Executive Director of WeCycle. Thank you so much for joining us for this Real Talk.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, these families are facing a great need in our community. Not every immigrant child comes here with their family.
There are thousands of unaccompanied children navigating the U.S. legal process alone. Kids as young as 7 are fighting deportation in court without legal representation. A bill making its way through the U.S. Senate hopes to change that. It would also create specialized child-friendly courts and train judges on how to question kids. I spoke to Denver-based immigration attorney Arturo Jimenez. He says this bill is a step in the right direction.
It's huge because we have so many children who not only have languished in the immigration system, we've also seen lots of kids who were lost in the system. And our government, under the various presidents, the last 3 presidents, have not had answers as to what happened to the children who've come across the border into government care, and then suddenly they've disappeared.
In 2023, immigration officials reported interacting with more than 152,000 unaccompanied kids at the U.S.-Mexico border.
We're just getting started with this Real Talk about supporting new immigrant children in Colorado. Coming up, newcomer students in school.
Look at the changes local schools are making to support their newest classmates. This is Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. I'm Colorado Public Radio's Nathan Heffel.
And I'm Denver7's Micah Smith. Today we're having a real talk about the specific challenges immigrant families face as they arrive in Denver and how the community is stepping in to help.
Local schools are seeing the influx of new immigrant kids firsthand. Denver Public Schools is one example, which has enrolled thousands of new immigrant students since last summer.
Many of those kids are attending school for the first time or as their families sleep on the streets or in shelters at night. Because most of those students enrolled after the state's official count date, the district is not receiving any funding for those students.
Now, DPS says the influx has left the district millions of dollars short this year as it works to serve more students. I spoke with President of Denver Classroom Teacher Association, Rob Gould, about changes in classrooms to support these newcomers. Rob, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, so with the surge of newcomers coming to Colorado and particularly Denver, what are some of the things you as teachers have seen across the state?
So across the state, we've seen a number of our new to country students coming in, and they've brought in, significant challenges to the classroom. Colorado, we've already had challenges in terms of teacher shortages and funding, and a lot of those things have been exacerbated by our new to country students coming in. We're happy to have them though, and they're wonderful that to have new students coming in.
Yeah, and it's definitely the diversity from all across the world is always a good thing. But I think in terms of the training that teachers have and things like that, is that a concern that maybe sometimes that's inadequate, or there's just too many students to adequately give each student the care they deserve?
Well, that's exactly what many of our educators have gone through this year. We've seen increased class sizes. Our class sizes were already at larger, higher levels than we've ever had before, but we've seen actually that increase over this last year. In fact, we have some classrooms with 30 to 37 students in them. And I'm talking about elementary classrooms as well. Like we've had kindergarten classrooms with 35 students.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the schools that have been inundated, that have populations coming in, they've had to adapt and change. They've had to try to look for educators coming in at the in the middle of the year, and and try to find other supports for those students.
And I'm just imagining 35 kindergartners and first graders, how that is. I have a 6.5-year-old daughter. She's in first grade, and that class can go crazy sometimes, right? And just think about the language barriers in there, the cultural differences. So let's talk about the language barriers, especially with the younger children who are most at need. How do you deal with that?
So as educators, we adapt, right? And we adapt to our students' needs. It really started out at first, you're talking about even having enough space in the classrooms, right? So how do you navigate when you have those additional bodies in the class? When it comes to language and those supports, we look for educators that can come in and to support those language needs, but many times our teachers are being retrained. I mean, luckily in Denver, we have a very large MLL, multilingual learner population, and so our teachers are already at being trained for that. But then it's, what do you do when you don't have any of those language supports in place? Because we have a teacher shortage right now.
Yeah.
And so because of that teacher shortage, we've seen, these increased class sizes, but then how do we find people that actually have the language skills needed to support those students? A lot of times our educators are using Google Translates, other supports like that. And so, it's always a challenge for a teacher, and even more so now.
And so with the teacher shortage, how are you finding these teachers that need to be so specialized because of the number of students that come in that are culturally possibly different and also have that language barrier?
We've been lucky in Denver because not only do we have a large pool to pull from,
Yeah.
but we also have been bringing in international educators. So these are teachers that are coming from oftentimes the similar countries from where our students are coming from, all around the world really. And so we've been able to, in Denver, support our students with additional international educators coming in.
And I'm thinking not just the new immigrants that are arriving, but perhaps students that are unhoused, that are living in shelters, or worst case tents. How are you seeing that impact students at school?
So there's a couple of different ways that's impacting. I mean, obviously it's the sheer numbers, but they're coming in with significant challenges, right, and emotional trauma that students have gone through. Many times the students have had, it's not just walking thousands of miles, but it's several years of interrupted schooling. Right. And so as students come in, we're looking to support them to assess those language skills, but then what do we need to do to support them with interventions and other pieces to make sure that they can get those language skills they need, as well as the reading and writing that we teach. What can we do to support? What can we do, not only with the students that are in the classroom, but what can we do to support those families? One of the things that the Denver Classroom Teachers Association recently did was we created a supply drive for our students.
Yeah.
Normally we have those at the beginning of the year.
Right.
We did one in the middle of the year, and actually Denver7, they did a great job of coming in and helping us through their Denver Gives program.
So let's talk about the funding to wrap up this conversation. You're working with lawmakers to try to get more state funding for the district. Can you tell us about that and what type of difference that would make?
Yeah, I mean, on average, first of all, Colorado is, we are below the median in terms of the state funding. We're somewhere between 39 and 47 in funding for state.
Just overall?
Overall,
yeah.
Exactly. And so this year, we've actually been working with the legislature to try to find some supplemental funding, looking at $24 million. Now, that per pupil funding is way less than what schools normally get, but anything helps at this point. Anything helps to be able to hire additional teachers, provide additional mental health supports, and have those programs for our students.
Now, what about resources through like the newcomer hub and things like that? Can you talk a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the best parts about Denver Public Schools is we have these newcomer centers, right? And these hubs, community hubs is what they're called. And families can actually go and access support services, any family, new to country student families, but also our families that are currently here.
Yeah.
They can access mental health supports, medical supports. They'll have clothing and other supplies for them, and that's one of the things that we did with our drive is we made sure and collected materials so we could provide additional supports to those hubs so that our families would have what they needed. And we're hoping that, as increased funding comes, DPS can provide additional supports like this because it's really been a lifeline for several of these families coming in.
Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for putting the story out. And thank you to Denver7 for helping us.
Always.
All right.
Yeah.
Coming up, from support at school to support after school.
We're talking to a local organization about how they're bringing together not just young immigrants, but young refugees as well into Colorado's outdoors. This is Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. I'm Denver7's Micah Smith.
And I'm Colorado Public Radio's Nathan Heffel. We're talking about some of the challenges facing Colorado's youngest new immigrants, recently many from the southern border.
However, since 1980, Colorado has also worked to support refugee families from countries like Afghanistan, Congo, and Syria through the state's Refugee Services Program.
Organizations like Women's Wilderness in Boulder have been working through that program to serve refugee children who arrive here through a free weekly after-school program called Outdoor Girls. Young immigrant, asylum, and refugee girls are able to connect through outdoor activities.
And here to tell us more about this is Women's Wilderness Executive Director Christy Peoples. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So to start things off, tell us about this program and how it got started.
So Outdoor Girls is a program that is for immigrant, well, let me back up. Girls is an acronym for Girls Immigrant Refugee Leadership Series. And so what that is a series of weekly after-school programming that happens throughout the semester. We have trained instructors who come in and offer social emotional skills, bonding, outdoor training and outings once a month into the wilderness, and all kinds of opportunities for girls just to be girls. And having survived middle school and high school myself, I know what a challenge it is just to be in a space that we feel comfortable with ourselves, we feel like we fit in enough to survive and succeed in school. And so being able to provide a space for these girls to step out of having so much responsibility on them as maybe the primary translators for their families, or being responsible for just being the liaison to the American culture and new way of being, it's really huge. And we're really seeing a lot of success just by letting them connect in those ways.
Now, is this a statewide program? Is it just in one city? Where are you going to help refugee girls?
So we are located, we're headquartered in Boulder, and we have worked with schools and agencies that are serving these communities, so that way we become known to them, and by extension we introduce ourselves into the schools, we introduce ourselves to the families, and that way we get to build trust and instill the programming into these schools. So that way it really becomes more of an attractive kind of thing rather than feeling extractive. But we really are learning how to meet the needs of our participants by communicating with the families, by showing them who we are so that they trust us, and we're also listening very closely to the girls themselves.
What is participation looking like these days? Are you seeing a surge in interest in the program, especially since we have more immigrants arriving daily?
Yes, we are seeing a lot more need for it and a lot more receptivity to it. And so the program itself launched in 2020. And so we had a rough time kind of establishing ourselves in the COVID years. But as we have become more familiar to the parents and the families and the organizations that we're working with in the schools, it has opened the doorway for more people to come through our programming. And we've seen a lot more of an uptick in the parents and caretakers wanting to come out on those hikes sometimes as well. So it's been a really good growing experience for us all.
Is there a specific story of a girl that you've seen impacted by this, maybe in Colorado's wilderness, because they've come from somewhere so far away where it's a very different experience for them?
Yes, we have all kinds of testimonials from girls who have gone through the program saying that they feel more positive, they feel like they can face their challenges head on, they feel more comfortable in their own skin. And we've also had someone who has gone through our programming from a younger age all the way up through high school. She graduated and is now a proud student at CU and has come back through a leadership program. So she serves as a mentor. Because the program has given so much to her, she wants to give back as well. So we have numerous stories of those kinds of experiences, and we're really proud of those results.
Who is eligible to join the program? Is it just refugees and immigrants? Are there other ways that people can get involved with the programming?
So they can get involved through the programming by contacting us, for one, and if they are affiliated with some of the schools where we're participating, we often go at the beginning of the semesters to the open school nights or talking to the administration and finding different ways to continue to introduce ourselves. They can get involved that way, and it is for people who are first generation Americans.
Absolutely. Before we go, we just have a few moments left, but is there anything else that you just want the community to know about this?
I want the community to know that it's really incredibly important to be able to have a space just to be oneself. And being able to do that against the backdrop of nature and the outdoors. I mean, there's a lot of research that comes out these days that tell us about the benefits of being in the outdoors. And so being able to do that and offer that skill or offer that opportunity to these young girls who are trying to just make their way in an entirely new country and a new culture is a huge benefit to them. And by extension, it's a benefit to their families and to the community as well.
All right, Christy Peoples, Executive Director of Women's Wilderness, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and that's this week's episode of Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. Every week, we'll have a real talk on issues that impact Coloradans who are often overlooked.
You can find all of our shows on denver7.com/realtalk or at cpr.org/realtalk. Have a great day.